Samantha Reyes walked into Monarch Prestige Autos on a bright Wednesday morning in downtown Los Angeles. Wearing blue jeans, a white tee, and a basic ponytail, she looked like someone who'd wandered in off the street, not someone who could buy anything expensive. She walked confidently to the front desk. "I'm interested in the black Aston Martin Vantage parked out front," she said calmly. The receptionist blinked, unsure whether to laugh or not. "Let me get someone to help you," she mumbled. Within seconds, Ryan Burke, the head salesman, strolled over. Sharp suit, slicked back hair, arrogant smile. He gave her a once-over and scoffed. "This car starts at $310,000, he said. "You might want to check out our pre-owned section across the street." Samantha didn't react. She just stared at the car again, then looked back at him. "I'd like to know the specifications." Ryan chuckled. "We usually book private showings for serious clients. You know, people who are actually in the market." Two other salesmen nearby laughed. A couple browsing an Audi glanced over with amused expressions. Without arguing, Samantha simply nodded and walked out. Ryan shook his head. People these days. The next morning, a custom midnight black Rolls-Royce Cullinan pulled up in front of the dealership. It was spotless, majestic, and impossible to ignore. The chauffeur stepped out and opened the rear door. Out came Samantha, this time in a blazer and jeans, sunglasses on, hair tied in the same ponytail. She walked straight through the glass doors. Ryan, mid-conversation with another customer, froze. Behind her came a man in a tailored suit, Leonard Carrington, CEO of Carrington Investments, one of the wealthiest firms in California. "Good morning," Samantha said. "Is the Vantage still available?" Ryan opened his mouth but said nothing. Leonard turned to the stunned receptionist. "She'll be buying the car today, in cash. Make sure she's treated with respect." Samantha looked straight at Ryan. "Still think I belong in the pre-owned section?" 2 hours later, Samantha was sitting in the dealership's VIP lounge, sipping coffee while the paperwork was finalized. The staff was suddenly all smiles, offering bottled water, fresh fruit, anything to keep her happy. The same receptionist who barely acknowledged her yesterday now couldn't stop complimenting her. Ryan hovered in the background, humiliated but trying to save face. "So, Samantha, what do you do?" he asked casually, pretending to be friendly. She raised an eyebrow. "Why? So you can decide if I look the part next time?" He gave a tight smile. "Just making conversation." Leonard, sitting beside her, stepped in. "She runs the Carrington Family Foundation. She's the reason thousands of kids in the state get full scholarships every year. She doesn't like bragging about it." Ryan's jaw tightened. He clearly hadn't expected that. Samantha turned to him. "You know what I've learned, Ryan? People like you are good at selling things, but bad at recognizing value. You judged me based on my outfit. You never even looked me in the eye." Ryan nodded slightly, guilt written all over his face. "But here's the thing," she added. "I'm not here to embarrass you. I just hope next time, you treat everyone with respect, no matter how they look." Later that evening, Samantha pulled up in her brand new Vantage, the engine purring like a lion. She parked in front of a community center in East LA, where a group of teenagers were hanging out. They looked stunned. "Miss Reyes. Is that your car?" one of them asked, wide-eyed. She smiled. "Hop in. One at a time, but everyone gets a ride." The kids took turns, each one getting a few minutes in the passenger seat, feeling like royalty. For many, it was the first time they'd been in a luxury car. She wasn't showing off. She was inspiring. This was what she really cared about. Not the car. Not the dealership. The message. The next morning, the story went viral. Someone at the dealership had leaked a clip from the security camera. It showed Samantha walking in, being brushed off, then returning in a Rolls-Royce. People loved it. Comments flooded in: "Never judge a book by its cover, she's a queen for staying calm. That salesman deserves the roast." Ryan's reputation took a hit. Bad reviews started piling up. Management wasn't happy. But Samantha? She didn't even bother to check the news. She had already moved on, to her next project, her next goal. Because for her, it was never about proving anyone wrong. It was always about staying true to who she was. A few weeks later, Samantha's story was still trending on social media. But she wasn't interested in the attention. Instead, she focused on expanding her foundation. She started a mentorship program for young women from underprivileged backgrounds, teaching them how to handle finances, build businesses, and most importantly, believe in themselves. At one of her workshops, a girl named Alina asked, "Miss Reyes, how did you stay so calm when that guy disrespected you at the dealership?" Samantha smiled. "Because his opinion doesn't define my value. And because success speaks louder than ego." The room was silent for a moment. The message hit deep. Meanwhile, the dealership wasn't doing well. Ryan's attitude had caught up with him. Complaints from other customers surfaced. Management finally let him go. He tried applying elsewhere, but the viral video followed him. His name was associated with discrimination. No luxury brand wanted that. One afternoon, while walking to a job interview at a used car lot, Ryan spotted a billboard downtown. It was Samantha. She wasn't advertising a car. She was promoting her new campaign, "Value People Over Appearances." He stood there for a long time, staring at it. It stung, but it also woke him up. Back in East LA, Samantha had invited a few entrepreneurs, investors, and public figures to attend her mentorship graduation event. Among them was Leonard, who had supported her quietly throughout. "You've built something incredible," he said, looking around at the hundreds of girls, now ready to chase bigger dreams. Samantha nodded. "It's just the beginning." Then a woman in a suit walked up to her with a proposal. "We've been following your work," she said. "How would you feel about speaking at our Women's Summit in New York?" Samantha blinked in surprise. "That's huge. You're inspiring millions, Samantha. This needs to go bigger." 3 months later, Samantha stood on stage at a grand auditorium, thousands of people watching her. She wore a simple white blouse, jeans, and the same pair of earrings she wore the day she walked into that dealership. She told her story, not about a car, but about the power of staying grounded, focused, and unbothered by judgment. The audience gave her a standing ovation. After the event, while walking out of the venue, a girl came up to her and said, "You made me believe I can succeed no matter what I wear, where I come from, or how I look." That was the real win. Not the car. Not the clap back. But the quiet, lasting impact. Samantha smiled. "Then my job here is done." And with that, she walked into her future, driven not by revenge, but by purpose.